I've been super busy at work and I had to go out of town for a few days, so I've not been around to post much, but as fate would have it, things have been kind of slow. Still, there are a few things to report on as we head into the early part of August. First, Mr. Game Theory, that familiar face from 505 Games and DR Studios, who reports about Mobile 1.3 progress regularly. He had hinted last week that some big news was around the corner. I don't know whether his recent post is what he had been referencing, but all the same, here's what he had to say just the other day on the Terraria Discord. Amazing news for passionate members of the Terraria community. We are thrilled to announce that we will be opening up the application process for the Terraria community team. We currently have space available in the following branches: Event Branch, Developer Branch, Translator Branch, News Branch, Terraria University Branch, Art Branch, Writing Branch, Lore Branch, and the Social Media Branch. That's a lot of branches. We are organizing many exciting community projects and events across the entire Terraria community, including Discord, Steam, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, iOS, Android, and the forums. If you love the Terraria community and you want to join the team that helps make this community so epic, then please apply here. And they provided this link. Space is limited, so fill out your application before it is too late. So, if anyone's interested, check it out. I'll include that link in the video description. Those members who are able to make it seem to have the occasional get-together if they're part of the team, so that's a plus for all of the hard work that I'm sure it entails. Anyway, moving on to some comments from the Relogic team. A user on the forums named Charlie Lemansky asked, "Just to clarify, all 1.3 content, apart from that which is dictated by world generation, will be available in old worlds?" And to that, Tunnel King answered, he says, "Yes, it will be available. One possible exception might be that if you've heavily modified the dungeon entrance on your old world, the cultists may not spawn properly." That's pretty good for those who are heavily invested in their worlds. I know from first-hand experience, of course, as I'm sure you do, that once you've put a lot of time into a particular world, you tend to grow a bit attached to it. So it's nice to know that 1.3 features will be available in worlds from earlier builds. Anyway, that same user, Charlie Lomansky, had a follow-up question regarding those lunar cultists, who, as you probably know, spawn outside of the door to the dungeon if you've progressed far enough in the game. And he wrote, "I cut a bit off the towers on the top of the dungeon. Will that interfere with their spawning?" And once again, Tunnel King answered, he wrote, "That's probably okay. It's the area beneath where the pillars of background wall are. If they have no place to stand, because you remove the blocks beneath, then they may not appear. That can be remedied by simply putting some blocks back." So it's good to know you can do a quick fix on it if things aren't working properly. And here's some more on that. A user named Trupa posted on the forums, "Hey, I'm in desperate need of an answer. Will we keep the worlds from 1.2.4 so we can pile our builds in 1.3 on top of it? I've put a lot of time and effort into my current world and would be quite pleased if it wouldn't be sent to hell." Smiley face. Tunnel King answered, "Yes, DR Studios is working to make sure that old worlds and characters will work." Loki also had a follow-up comment on that one. He wrote, "Keep in mind, though, that pre-1.3 worlds will not have new world gen-based content on them. Things such as the granite and marble biomes. This is why, though old worlds are great, and they should transfer over, I always recommend a fresh playthrough on major updates such as 1.3. Another eagle-eyed user posted, in response to someone who'd been asking what the new Terraria icon would look like, When you go back and watch the live stream of Mobile 1.3, you'll see the icon in just a split second. When the video started, you'll see that it is a tree with a white background. But who knows, they might change the icon. So let's take a look at that. And he's right, I actually saw it at the end of the video, not the beginning. And it was only for a brief instant, but there it is. So good spot, skadoodle. Not the world's most exciting icon to be sure, but hey, I'm sure it is subject to change before the final release. But it's not a big deal if that's the final product. It does feature the iconic Terraria tree, which seems, well, appropriate for an icon. Next, pretty obvious this one, but Tunnel King wrote this in response to yet another question about the release date for Terraria Mobile 1.3. There has been no announced release date, and there won't be until Relogic and 505 Games feel satisfied that they have one to announce. So as the story has been all along, they're not going to rush this to market. They've been patient this far, and progress has been rapid once DR Studios has become involved in the entire recoding of mobile Terraria. So what's another month or two to them? They're certainly going to wait just to make sure that they have a polished product on their hands or in their hands before they release it. But hopefully, all that being said, we'll get more news on how things are going with the selective beta before too much more time has passed. Next, a user called the Steampunk posted a question about one of my favorite features in Terraria for PC, and that is world seeds. They're basically like serial numbers for worlds, so you'll plug one in and then a predetermined world gens will happen. And so if, for instance, I was to generate a world that has a really tall dungeon well above the ground, I could find the seed for that world and share it with other people, and they could generate it in their own game. So it's a nice feature. Anyway, although this question was about console versions, the answer included mobile Terraria, so I felt I should include it. Anyway, the Steampunk wrote, "Hey Loki, just a question. How will World Seed work on console? I don't have a config.json file on my Xbox." Loki answered, "World Seeds were only an experimental feature, along with texture packs, added in 1.3.4. As experimental features, I really do not know how or if they will intersect with mobile and console Terraria until the time comes that we cross that bridge. Even still, again, these are experimental and not core game features, which is why you have to do the config.json stuff you mentioned. And that isn't really a thing on console. So I'll just stay tuned for now, but cannot promise anything." Yeah, that's a little disappointing. As I said, it's a really nice feature, and I get why they may not be able to include it, but it is a nifty little feature. And if you could imagine a situation for Terraria where the world seeds for both console, mobile, and also I guess PC were all uniform so that it would generate the same kind of world no matter what version you were using, that would be pretty neat. But anyway, there you have it. There's Loki's answer. And that's actually it for now. It has been a quiet few days, which, as I said, is kind of fortuitous because I've been busy at work and I've been out of town, that sort of thing. But information, as you know, tends to come in big waves. At least that's my experience lately. So stay tuned to the channel because you never know when they might release more information. I'll be sure to post videos on anything of interest that gets revealed. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see everyone next time.